Hey, beautiful souls. I hope you guys are doing amazing and happy Wednesday. We are going to do a collective reading, so all of you matter at this time. I do have heavy Capricorn and Sagittarius energy out here, okay? Could be something about your 9th or 10th house placements, Jupiter or Saturn placements, or it could be the fact that you guys have Capricorn, Sagittarius as your moon sign, your sun signs, north nodes, whatever it may be. I'm feeling maybe even Venus for some of you. Okay. Recent past, current energy, near future energy is what we got out here. I'll just show you really quickly. Okay. I am using the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot deck specifically because it just is appropriate for Halloween coming up, right? And I don't use it very often, so that's why I decided to start using it for the last 10 days until Halloween specifically. Now, with the recent past, we have the Queen of Presents in the reversal, which would be the Pentacles, Capricorn, Sagittarius energy, and underneath that is Fascinating. For the current energy, you have the Three of Presents. I'll just show you the cards, which is a Capricorn energy, okay, and Smug in the reversal for this one, okay. Now, for the near future, you have the Ten of Candles, Sagittarius, with Dislikes the Outdoors in the reversal, okay. So this is a Capricorn Sagittarius card shared. Then you got Capricorn and Sagittarius. Okay. Now with the first recent past energy, of course, that's where we're going to start because this is where you guys are either going to find that you relate or you do not, whether the shoe fits or does not. You know what I mean? Obviously, in the past, you guys were overgiving. Okay. There was a literal out of balance situation. You guys could be mothers. You could be a partner, right? You could be fathers too. For some of you, it could be a masculine energy too. It doesn't have to just be mothers. But there's a lot of weight on your guys' shoulders, whether you're, even if you're a teacher, a boss, somebody like that, whatever it may be. There was just something about you giving and 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 running yourself dry, completely dry. With the Fascinating, I feel like this is you and your spirit team and how fascinated they were with how much you could push. Okay, like they were like, geez, you can just keep going and going even on empty. Basically, they were flabbergasted in a sense by, if you think about a car and you think about the tank, the fuel tank, and you realize it's on E and you're like, oh, we're just going to keep pushing this until it ends, until I run out. That's literally the whole scenario. It's almost like you made a tank of gas that was on E already make an entire road trip. Okay? Like an entire 5 to 6 hour road trip. You kept pushing on empty. That's what this energy is from the recent past. And your spirit team, God, the Holy Spirit, they're fascinated. They are. They're like, wow, you know what? You fascinated us with how much you can keep pushing. All right. What now, with that being the case, you should have noticed with all of that how much strength you really have. That's something they really want you to know, because that right there is what's fascinating to them. It's not that they didn't know it was real and they didn't know it was, part of you. They did. It's just fascinating that you showed up, you kept showing up, even on E, even tired, even exhausted, even, pushed to your extremes, the extremities you have been pushed to, but you keep going, you keep showing up, you keep, So the biggest message there is that God is really, really wanting you yourself to validate your strength and how much you can keep going. But he also wants you to validate something else. He wants you to notice you shouldn't have to do that. Just because we know you can do it doesn't mean you should have to be pushing yourself like that. If you need rest, you need rest. And it's not something that should be demanded. It should be something that you just feel drawn to do. Some people are like, people just tell me not to do this or not to do that, and I just keep wanting to do it because, nobody else is going to do it. And it's like, that makes sense. Maybe you're right. Maybe nobody will help you do the dishes or make dinner. Maybe nobody will help you do something at your job or your work or whatever, but then again, if nobody wants it to be demanded, why should you be demanding of it to be done? You see what I'm saying? If you know you need rest, you need rest. It shouldn't be like God demanding you to rest. No, you should just know within yourself, like, I know how much I can push myself, but you know what? Maybe right now I just need to sit down and not worry about the dishes right now, or Not worry about if the floor needs to be vacuumed or the dog hair that's cluttered up in the corners. I just, right now, I just can't do that. I just can't do that right now, and I'll get to it when I get to it. But at this moment, I deserve rest. I deserve rest. I am worthy of rest because of how much I know I can push myself and how strong I truly am, and I will be stronger if I take this rest. That's something that the spiritual energies are really trying to get into your brain. They're trying to train your brain to give yourself mental breaks. Not just mental break days, because we can see that you can't just sit still for the whole day. Mental breaks throughout your day. Okay? Now, with 3 presence in the current energy, with the smug in the reverse, it's actually really good energy, and there's certain progress being made, and it's not necessarily loud and noisy progress. It's quiet, it's subtle, and there's a teamwork energy or a cohesion, or there's somebody working with you that's not necessarily smug, not egotistical, not somebody who is lacking the communication, or like they're actually wanting to get involved in this communication, in this project, in this developing of something. Okay, that's what I'm getting with this energy for the current right now at this moment. Somebody is collaborating with you over something big. Could be over systems, structures. It could even be a plan, an action, or something like that. Or it could even be, I don't know, for some of you, it could be like somebody's going to pick you up for work to take you to work, and that takes maybe a little bit of stress off your situation, whatever it may be. But in that sense, even if it's not that fitting, it's not going to be exactly that. So for some of you, it could be just the fact that it's like somebody wants to come in and actually help you, which will actually alleviate the stress you kept feeling like you were put under. So in the recent past, you had realized something, so you have been giving yourself mental breaks, and this is actually bringing in that divine help. People are actually wanting to help you, and it has maybe some things to do with how stressed you would get and how upset you would get and all these things. But now that you're allowing yourself to have mental breaks, you're not as stressed, you're not as, you're not freaking out as much, or whatever. Your vibe is just more calm and more like subtle and quiet. It's not so noisy and whatever. And so people feel more drawn into that comforting, like secure, subtle energy, that they actually are drawn to help out without their smug reactions, without their judgment, without their critiquing every little thing. No, they want to come in and they're like, I don't mind helping. I'll help you if you need me to help you. What would you like me to help you with? With really good intentions behind it. Nothing that's going to be like, I'm going to be egotistical, or I'm going to take this away from you, or I'm not going to listen to you. I'm just, but no, they're willing. The willingness to come forward. That's this energy of the present right now. So if you have not experienced this quite yet, you are very much on the verge of experiencing it soon. And then for this energy, this is the part where it gets a little bit more technical, because the 10 of candles is the near future. So this is actually a big thing, because for a lot of you, it's about releasing old burdens. Yes, there's going to be things you're going to be carrying on your shoulders, but obviously you know how strong you are. You know how strong you are. Okay? So when you know how strong you are, you're still able to carry certain things, which is, in all reality, I'm not going to tell anybody what they can and cannot do. I will never, ever, 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 ever tell somebody they can and cannot do something. If you know the burdens you're carrying and you choose to carry specific burdens, that is and only is your choice. I do the same thing. Okay, I have a household. I run the entire household. I got kids in school, got one in homeschool, got my fiance going to work for 12 hours a day, and I run the whole entire household, all right? And I do this too on the side, but that's why my life has been crazy, and that's why I've been so MIA. There's been a lot that's been going on, but that doesn't mean that I can't fulfill these things. That doesn't mean that I cannot do these things, all right? I can, and I have been doing it for a long, long, long time, but I also understand where the mental break days or the mental breaks come in, because myself here too has a hard time just sitting still. Believe me, I do. I have a hard time just sitting there doing nothing. I always feel like I have to do something. And then I've gotten myself out of that condition to believe I have to do something, because I always was like, well, if the house isn't clean, someone randomly shows up, I'm gonna look like I'm lazy. Or, oh, if somebody randomly shows up at 5 o'clock and dinner's not ready, I'm the lazy one because I didn't do it. But I had all these conditions to make me think like that's the way it had to be, and it had to be set up that way. No, it doesn't. Nobody even shows up. And I myself like to clean. I like things tidy and organized and put together, right? I do. And I'm not like completely like OCD about everything. It doesn't have to be fully organized, but it has to be to my liking. And I know that. And that's a part of myself. And I know that I've registered that. I've gone within. I've reflected on that. That is a part of me. I like keeping things nice. I do. Okay. That's just a part of who I am. And I will do that forever. So if I know that, that's enough. If I know that, that is enough. Me doing the things I do is enough. It doesn't have to be for somebody else. Who else is going to come in this house and criticize anything? If my kids don't want to help me, that means they don't demand anything. So why am I demanding myself to keep doing and keep doing and keep doing and keep doing? And the more that I've allowed myself to have these mental breaks, that I feel the same energy with you guys, I've had a more peaceful, calm vibe about myself, which I'm a very peaceful person anyway. But when I am raging and stressed and nobody's doing anything for me and I'm doing everything by myself and I'm raging because I'm so upset, or I'm so like I feel so underappreciated or overburdened because I'm doing but I'm the one that expects myself to do it. Nobody else in this house expects me to do anything. They don't ask me to do their laundry, they don't ask me to clean their room, they don't ask me to pick up after them. They don't. And it's okay. They shouldn't have to ask me to do anything, and I just do it anyway. So if I'm the one doing it, then why should I be demanding myself to keep doing these things under all this pressure and all this stress, correct? Exactly. Nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants that. It's just a bunch of unhealed. You're feeding into this constant fear or worry that everything's gonna fall behind if you don't get into it. You keep feeding it, and then all this negative energy keeps flowing to you because that's the energy you're attracting, because that's all you're feeding, right? I feel it because I've done it too. Just went through it, just recent too, and I've been really trying to flow instead, and then take my little days, little mental breaks here and there, just to relax, just to kick back, sit down, relax. Don't even worry about things when you're sitting there. That's the thing I think that really bugs us the most. We'll sit there and we'll still be thinking things, thinking this and thinking that. That's the time to sit down and not think one thing about those things. Think about the things that fulfill you. Think about things that are joyous. Think about memories in the past that brought you happiness. Think about things that are really good in the moment that you need to be thinking of them. You know what I mean? Instead of thinking all the negative and letting the negative side of your brain win, let the positive side win. Let the positive side come in and show you a different route, show you a different way, show you a different how you can do this, and actually uplift yourself during these mental breaks. But with the Ten of Candles, it's like you are now in the near future understanding what it is you want to carry versus what you do not want to carry. Okay? And with the dislikes, the outdoors, and the reversal, this kind of it has nothing to do with like the outdoors. It has everything to do with the fact that you are able to step outside of a comfort zone. You're able, and that comfort zone is no longer comfortable, and we all know it. We can see it right here, right? So you're able to finally get out of a comfort zone because you no longer want to be stuck inside this little whatever, this little habitat of almost nothingness. Like a sense of it's nothing but stress and worry and concern. It's just a little bubble, you know what I mean? But once you get out of there, you're gonna see like there's so many new opportunities, so many beautiful things. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize this existed outside of myself, outside of this little, created fear box that I had. This thing that was made from conditions from other people to make me think that this was the way it had to be. And now you can see how limited their mind space is, only to that. You see what I'm saying? You're able to move forward with that, and you're able to still carry the things you want to carry, but noting what it is you are carrying without carrying things that you shouldn't be, or that are trying to, because we as people have carried many things, right? And there's been things that I realized I didn't know I was carrying, and it's almost like they sneak up on you. But it's like they can't sneak up on you because they're already with you, but you didn't even know you were carrying it, so of course it sneaks up on you. But these things that we don't even realize, like we're carrying old friends' wounds and old family members, like from the past, family member wounds, and Whether we talk to somebody randomly at the gas station and we carried that energy that they were, they just went through a loss or whatever it may be, but we're carrying that energy. We don't even realize or recognize that we're carrying that energy until later on when we start to reflect and go within and understand certain things. And then we're like, wow, what? I didn't want, that's not me. That's not me. That's not my energy. Why am I carrying that? Give that back. Give that energy back. Go back to where you belong. Go back. That's not my energy. And when you do that, you start sending all the energy back that needs to go back to those individuals that also need to heal those things. But since you carried it with you, they didn't have the chance to heal it because it was gone with you, chilling. You see what I'm saying? So when you give that energy back, it's like giving that person the money that they loaned you back, pretty much. Here, take it back. Take it back. I don't want it. It's not mine. It's not mine. I can't heal something that's not mine to heal. Like literally nobody has the ability to heal something that is not theirs to heal. You cannot carry someone else's weight and heal it for them. No, because that is all part of the experience that they're meant to have here on this planet. That's the whole point of the shadow and light aspects of everything. Okay? Learning, experiencing, growing wisdom. No longer just from a place of just pure innocence, from a place of innocent wisdom. That's the feeling. It's like innocent wisdom. So wherever you are going, let's see a little bit more into this future energy. Sharing. That's exactly what this energy literally, you aren't just carrying people's burden. So you choose what you want to carry, right? You're actually sharing to carry it. Sharing to carry it. So you're not carrying the entirety of the burden. You're sharing. So the burden isn't just on your shoulders, it's also on the other person's shoulders. So even though you know that they need to take accountability, you're still allowing them to have that sense of, carrying something, but you're not letting them carry the full weight of it. You are sharing the carrying of these burdens. That's what that is. And you have the courage to do it. Obviously, we went through that. So you're very strong. You're very strong. And you know what I'm going to say? That maybe this is a part of your purpose. In a lot of reality, we can't all have the same purpose, and a lot of us aren't meant to carry all the burdens. We're not meant to, have all that. But in all reality, maybe that's what makes you different. You were born to actually carry it, and that's something I've learned about myself too over the last couple of days. There's some things that I am just meant to carry. And not alone, obviously, which I've had to go through that lesson too. But obviously, it's a nice gesture, especially if you know you have the ability and capability to do it. You're helping out your children, you're helping out your partner, you're helping out your coworkers, you're helping out your family member, whatever it is. You know that you have the ability to share that with them, to show them, so that they can also, not feel all alone. You're literally supporting them in an act of, I will help you carry this. And when I see this 3 of presents, that means that you are collaborating you're making compromises. It's almost like if I think about my child being in online school, right? And he has to do all this work, but I have to help him out sometimes. And I don't mind helping him out. I don't mind, even though, I'm the parent. You're supposed to not you're supposed to do this or that. It's all conditioned to believe that you're not supposed to help your children. Like, that's ridiculous. I didn't have a child not to help them. That's crazy. So as a parent, as a real parent, as a parent that I would like to be and always be, I don't think that's fair. I wouldn't have had a child not to help them. You know what I mean? So that's that energy. I'm sharing his burden of him having to do school, help him out, help him understand things deeper, compromises. That's the thing, is that this is what's happening, and I hope this helped you in any way it could, because this was actually really, really in depth and really, really healing in a lot of ways. It was a very healing energy, because everything we talked about and spoken about today within this reading has been exceptionally divine, beautiful, and uplifting. It really is. It's been an uplifting energy, because this is something that you guys have really improved on, and from this past situation, I'm very proud of you guys. And it doesn't matter if I'm proud of you, God's proud of you, but it doesn't matter if God's proud of you. It matters if you are proud of yourself. Okay? I mean, everybody keeps saying like, oh, you're so beautiful, oh, you're so this, oh, you're so strong, oh, you're so capable. But unless you believe it, it's never going to be true. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Wednesday.